Hi, welcome to Carrie Creates Cards. Today I'm looking forward to playing with my new Lavinia Stamps, and I'm going to create a card using my Distress inks for a background and the stamps over it. I hope you enjoy watching. If you do, please like and subscribe. I've been looking forward to working with some more of my new Lavinia Stamps today. This little one is called Raven. It's a beautiful one. And these little mushrooms are just called mushroom minis. So I'll be using them for the foreground. This is one I've had for quite a while. It's the Bonnet set. So I'll be using that. And just going to do a bit of stenciling with this. And this is a stamp as well I've had for a long time. Came on a magazine and just a word stencil or a word stamp. This stencil was also on a magazine at one stage a few years ago. So I'm beginning with an 8x8 card base, and this is my cardstock, which I cut down to 7 6/8 by 7 6/8. So I'll be doing my design on this one. These are the inks that I've chosen to do my background with. I've got Spice Marmalade, it's an oxide ink, Broken China, it's also an oxide, and I'm using picked raspberry. This isn't, it's just a regular Distress ink. I'm just going to get my brushes and come in and work on them. So just remove the lids on those, and I'm going to start with a bit of the Broken China just on the top here. I'll just ink that up well. I'll just get down some of the ink. I can come back and smooth it out later when I'm blending. Yep, look at this. No worries. We'll blend it in. So next I'm going to come in with the spiced marmalade. And I'm going to, I should use a piece of cardstock or a tissue, just so that my hand isn't destroying my project. Just going to come in and blend that. But I can blend this piece in, it's not a disaster. It will be fine, as you'll see in a while. I'm just going to blend it up a little bit into the Broken China, just to see that lovely transition. And I'm going to go back in and blend down. And you'll see that lovely blending taking place. Especially these oxides, I find they're just gorgeous to blend with. They blend beautifully. Let's go over that again to even it out a bit and blend it in. So I'm going to come down a bit more now with the orange colour, the Spice Marmalade. As you can see, I can blend that bit of a mistake into the ink. So no worries. The last colour I'm going to come in with is the picked raspberry. Love this colour. And because it's not an oxide, it doesn't have that chalky effect. Kind of get a deeper pigment in the ink, as much as I do love the chalky effects of the oxide inks. Just think this particular one is lovely in the regular. So again, I'm going to come up, start blending that into the picked raspberry, or sorry, into the spice marmalade. And get a bit more of the orange and come back down again. So I'm just going to go back over each of these colours again and do a bit more blending. So I'm quite happy with that now. I'm just going to come in and clean off my work area. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I want to sprinkle some water on these inks to get a nice impression. So you'll see how they respond to the water being applied. They are water based. I can come in with a clean tissue and just pick them up here and there, and that was the look that I was aiming for. So I'm going to leave that dry, and then I'm going to come in and do some stamping over it. So I'm just going to pop the background down on the stamping platform, and I'm coming in with this little fairy stamp by Lavinia, and she's called Raven. So I'm going to pop Raven down about there, I think. And I'm going to come in with this little leafy stamp. And to put that there. So I'll pick her up. Now, as she's new, I'm going to come in and give her a good rub with my cloth, as I normally do, just to take off any residue that may be on the silicone. I haven't used this one in a while, so I'll give that one a rub as well. Now I'm going to ink them up. I'm going to use the VersaFine Clear Twilight on Eden. Oh, sorry, on Raven. Don't know where my mind is today. But we'll pop that down on Raven there. And I'm going to come in with a bit of the rainforest for the leaves. So press them down well and just give them a few moments to sink into the background inks. Very good. I'll just pop another bit of ink on Raven. She's brand new, so the use of the stamping platform can be very useful for that. When you've had stamps for a while, I think that they just kind of get worn in. And they stamp better. You're not doing too bad. Maybe just one more go. I can wipe this down and move it. Just stamp her up or ink her up again. And pick this one up. Yeah, she's doing a lot better now. Just put a bit of ink on that. And that's very good. Quite happy with that. I'm just going to give that a rub off now again. And I'm going to just wipe Raven off with a bit of water. Just to clean her up. That's all it needs. If you do it straight away, that's all it needs, is just water and a cloth, and it comes back like new. As you can see, took everything away. So I'm going to pop this down now again where I want it. I just have to move that. And the reason I'm wiping it off each time is if I pick it up and I pop it down and I'm not happy, then the print that's left on it is going to cause a problem for me. So if you wipe it off, it just gives you a bit more leeway that you can get it right. Little bit more work, but it's worth all the effort. I might just pop that one there. Magnets in the way. quite happy with that. So I've just came back in now with the fairy bonnet set, and I turned my image upside down. I'm going to come and pick them up, moving that out of the way. Okay, may have to move this up further. Pick them up, and I'm going to come in with my VersaFine Claire in Monarch. Oh, didn't pick it up. I may need to just give that. I've decided I'm going to put them on the acrylic block altogether, and hopefully that'll work better for me. They usually stamp very good first time anyway, so not too worried about the ink not printing properly. Yeah. Yep, just going to pop the other one down next. Ink that up, just for a bit of variation. They're very similar, but there is a difference in the two. One is kind of narrower than the other. And I'm going to come in and do a bit of second generation stamping there also. Just kind of fills the background in a bit. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. Now, just want to clean my area. And as you can see, I cleaned that already, but the VersaFine, I find, stains if you don't do it straight away. So as always, I'm just going to come in with some hand sanitizer gel. And it's just like magic, comes off straight away. Now, I mean, we pay so much for our crafting essentials, as we'd call them. It's kind of good to keep them in good order so that you continue to use them for years. If something lasts you for years, then really you've gotten good value out of it. They may seem expensive, but I think over the number of years that you use them, if you look after them, they're not really that expensive at all. So I'll just wipe them down. So the next thing I want to do is come in with my little mini mushroom stamp, and I'm going to ink that up in the Nocturne, just so that it stands out a bit on this background. So I'm just going to pop that here and there. Maybe just another one or two. Yeah, that's good like that. Again, I'm just going to wipe, stamp off with a bit of water and clean up my area. So next I'm coming in with my little word stamp, and I'm going to ink that up with a warm breeze. And I'm not going to use this everywhere, but I'm going to, maybe you won't see much of it down here. There's so much going on, but it'll be just a continuation for the rest of it. More than on the top. Yeah, I think I might just leave that on the one side. And I'm going to come back in with my VersaFine Claire and Monarch. And I'm just going to frame my picture with it. I'll just ink it up well. And come in and start just kind of outside and hit the edges. Just gives this lovely deepness to the edge of your picture. And the darkness on the outside always draws your eyes into the light in the middle. So it kind of frames your artwork. I think these colours blend lovely together as well. They're really nice. Kind of darkens the sky a bit, doesn't it? Just coming back in with my card base there, and I'll be popping that down, but I think I'm going to come in and just mat and layer a piece of black cardstock behind just to frame the image a bit more. So I'll just get my paper cutter, and I think that this 6 7/8, if I'm not mistaken, 6 6/8. So I'm going to come in and do this by 6 7/8. By 6 7/8. So I just pop that down. I put the piece of black behind to frame it, and matted and layered my card. So this is the finished result. You could come and put a little sentiment in, which could be quite nice. You could just send it like that and write whatever you want on the inside. So I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you have, please like and subscribe, and thank you as always.